Oshio. I hope everything is going well with you today. And you know how I talked on my last video that I did when I was talking about love is the heart of God, and how I mentioned, and you know, that I would probably do an off and on, or sort of, you know, as the Lord wills it, to talk about, you know, about hate and the love of God. And well, anyway, I guess this is kind of towards that, or yeah, I guess you could say. Let's talk about the word slander for a minute, okay? Now we all basically know what the word slander means in the English, and it's, and you know, and in Hebrew and Greek, it's similar in its meaning, pretty much close, you know. And that's where we, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, okay, sorry. You know how this, oh guys are. Okay, but anyway, as I was just going, I was going to talk about the slander. Now, the Bible tells us, you know, about judging and slander. You know, it speaks against when we judge somebody, to condemn them. You know, in slandering. Now, let me ask you something. Now, if you're warning people of something that is true, there's a key word, true. Okay, if you're warning others about it, is that slander? I don't think so. Would it be slanderous if your neighbor's house was on fire and your neighbor was at work? Would it be slanderous of you to call and tell them, hey, your house is on fire? No. Would it be slanderous if the person down the road, and you saw this, okay, took an axe and chopped up a whole family, or one or two people, or whatever, I mean, and you saw it, and you reported it? Is that slanderous, that that person murdered that person, or those people? See, that's like with John, the apostle, and even the apostle Paul gave warning about a couple of individuals, and even called their names. Now, would it be they saying that they were slandering that person that they was talking about? No, they were making warnings, giving a warning. Now, here on YouTube, there was somebody, a young person, and I know that they love Jesus, but sometimes we all, you, every single one of them, sometimes can, on a point, whatever that point is, can sometimes slide off a little bit, be a little off on the wrong, or be a little bit of wrong and right, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about on those things. But this person, she didn't know. I understand, you know, like when people here was like warning about almighty wind and others and things like this. Well, all they're doing is warning, and they're not slandering when the evidence is there. No one's trying, that is, on most of them's part. I can't speak for all of them, but most of the brothers and sisters on YouTube is trying to send a warning, a beacon light out to watch out, stay away from here, you know, and trying to keep others from getting entrapped into a cult, because those people, and you know, not just Almighty Wind, I'm talking about all of them, every single one of the cults out there, they tell on their own selves, and they make it self-evident. You cannot be slandering nobody when this is something that they tell on their own selves, and you're just trying to warn people. But the thing is, no one wants to slander and should be slandering anybody. If you don't have your facts straight, don't be talking ill of somebody unless you have the facts. Now, like the Bible talks about how some people's sins follow them. Some of them are before them, and some just follow them. All right, their sins are pretty much evident. In other words, well, whether it's on YouTube or down the road or where, you want to be careful, and you want to know the facts. And sometimes you got to understand, if somebody comes, if one person comes and tells you about so and so, understand that you're not to listen and take that person's word, even if it's your best friend. You can't take that person's word alone. That's biblical, my friend. It has to be in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. And you know those witnesses have to be reliable. If they're underhanded, sneaky, and stuff, you're not supposed to listen to those. Just be reliable witnesses. You check that out too. But the thing is, we should watch what we're doing and bear fruits of righteousness. And how do you bear fruit? Well, you gotta till the ground, fertilize it and break the ground up and all that, and aerate it and all this kind of stuff. You have to make sure you take care of the ground so that the tree can start bearing good fruit. And plus, you got to do some pruning too. So you have to watch it. We all do. So the thing is, every single one of us should be watching what we do. We shouldn't be slandering people. That is, without no facts, stuff, and you're going on it. That's slander, especially if you're doing it to get even. That's the question. Are you doing it to, if someone that doesn't like you and wants to hurt you, when you start in about them, are you doing it to get even because you didn't like what they said about you? Think about it. Now, I know there's times when there's people here on YouTube, things that they say, they might speak out against God and stuff. Now, there's like this one part of us is like, we will say a righteous indignation rises up. But sometimes we got to ask, at times, is it that, or is it our flesh rising up and we're wanting to call it righteous indignation? That's a tricky part. You have to pray about it, think about it, know what's in your heart. Because God knows what's in your heart, and He knows you better than anyone else, better than you do. Well, what I'm doing is just giving you things to think about, to think, to reflect on. The Lord loves us, and He gives us His commands. And again, like I said in the other video, the heart of love is God. And He is the heart of the law. God is. So, Jesus gave us a command. Are we going to follow it? Do we really love one another, or is it just a put on? We need to do more searching in our hearts and looking to Him and showing that we are disciples of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah. God bless you, and until I come back again, Shalom and Ha-ho.